Welcome to my channel, where there are interesting and equally sensational stories. Listen to today's story. Losing weight can have an unexpected effect on romantic relationships. It's not just how you feel about yourself that changes after dramatic weight loss. Society treats you differently too. A lot of these people have been obese for many years or even their whole life. Suddenly, they lose the weight and people start noticing them. People who were used to being invisible suddenly find themselves to be a desirable, sexual, and romantic proposition. Today on Our Space, we see the toxic side of finally feeling seen. Call my wife cheating on me, and I know exactly when it started. I caught my wife with a pair partner in our bed, and I kicked him out of the house. Oh, boy. This is long. Me, 44 male, and my soon-to-be ex, female 39. Been married for 11 years. No kids. We were a pretty chubby couple until 2 years ago when I had a blood test and it came out that I was prone to contracting diabetes, gout, and hypertension. It really scared me, and we both bit by bit started to have a very healthy life. I went from a 117 to 85 kilograms, and my wife must call her Jane, from 83 to 65 kilograms. We felt great, and needless to say I never developed those diseases. We attended a gym almost daily in the afternoon where a fair partner worked as a coach. Let's call him Baldy. When my wife started getting in shape, I noticed most guys turned to see her. I felt so proud of her. She is fairly busty, and she has magnificent legs. Of course, Baldy wasn't the exception. I noticed Baldy likes to check out women's butts. I've seen him doing it several times, and he likes to show off how ripped he is. When Jane and I were regulars at the gym, I noticed she was enjoying the attention she got from men. Once we're using the elliptical machines, in front of them, there's a cable machine. Baldy took off a shirt and started doing crossovers. I turned to my Jane. My face of, "Can you believe this guy?" But she was staring at him and she wet her lips. I saw Baldy and I swear he was grinning. I felt crushed. I mean, I was getting in shape, but I am not as muscular and fit as he is. When we were driving home, I make a comment about Baldy showing off, and Jay said, "Really? I didn't notice." I told her, "You were staring." She said, "I don't remember. I must have been thinking of something else." I shrugged it off and kept driving. But from there on, I noticed they were talking more frequently at the gym. Some weeks later, Jane was doing sit-ups using the Smith machine. Suddenly, Baldy went to help her. Isn't he nice? He was touching her waist and I got angry. She finished the first set, and I got there and told him in a not nice way, "I got it from here." Baldy just smiled and told me no problem, buddy. He calls everybody, buddy, and walked off. Jay knows me very well and heard my angry tone. She just said, "Oh my God, OP." I told her, "We'll discuss this at home." At home, drama blew up. She called me immature and jealous. I told her I noticed he was trying to get into her pants. She said that she knows that, but she would never cheat on me. I said then, why did she let him touch her? And she said she didn't want to be rude. About an hour later arguing, we agreed to change gyms. So we went to another place to do exercises. But Jane was resentful at me in the following months. Her argument was that I don't trust her. On third month, after we changed gyms, a very good opportunity opened up in my job. But in the afternoon, I took it and we had to attend the gym at different hours. I went in the morning and Jane in the afternoon. This is when it all went south. Jane's resentment increased and would barely spoke. I sent her messages telling her about my day, that I miss her, memes, but she rarely replied or just, "Yes. Okay. Same here." I was very worried and proposed a couples therapy. She said I was the one who needs therapy because I'm the one with trust issues. I agreed. I was so desperate to fix our marriage that I even thought it was all my fault. So the following year, I went to therapy, but Jane's behavior didn't change. We weren't intimate anymore. She never was in the mood. I snipped on her phone, but didn't find anything out of the ordinary. I searched her car for a second phone. Nothing. I tracked her phone in map history. It only showed me house, work, house, gym, house. Whenever I tried to talk to her, she just said she feels that she's having a 40 space. It'll pass. I never had any evidence of cheating, so I continued working and worrying. We live in a condo. The security guard, a very cheerful man called Mr. P, greeted me. We chat a lot. He was touching his shoulder and told me yesterday he had to move a heavy sofa, and he had some pain today. I was sympathetic, and he dropped the bomb. Maybe you can arrange a meeting with your massagist. I told him who. He said, the guy who came yesterday to massage Miss Jane. It took me a second to process this. I told him, do you have a video of him? I think he noticed I was pale in a hurry to show me. Guess who? Baldy, of course. He has come a few times to massage my wife. I took the day off and started investigating. I asked a coworker for his car, and then the afternoon, I followed Jane. She parked her car at the mall where the gym is, and there is Baldy waiting for her. They giggle and behave like a couple. Kisses, hugs, and I feel nearly to tears. They walk a couple of blocks and go into a residential area. I tried to follow them with my phone ready to record, but the guard stopped me and asked, "Can I help you?" I just said, "What a nice couple. Do you know them?" He said he thinks they are newlyweds, but he can't tell me anything else. I called Jane, but never answered. I returned to the mall and wondered why that place doesn't show on the map. I dial again and I can hear her phone inside her car. That's why. I also found out Jane hasn't attended the gym in 8 months. I didn't know that day was the last day I slept with Jane in the same bed. I returned the car and went home and called my parents. Fortunately, my dad answered, and I told him everything. I was crying, and he comforted me and told me to get evidence. Obviously, my marriage is over. And I need all I can gather while he'll contact one of his friends who is an excellent divorce lawyer. Jane called me when saw the 2 missed calls. I just told her I was already at home and she told me, "I'm away from the gym. My butt is killing me." Yeah, I can guess. When she saw me, she asked, "What happened? When'd you cry?" I don't know how, but I was mentally focused. I smiled and told her I got the flu. That's why I left work early. Don't come near me. It might be the bug. I'll be tested tomorrow. I'll sleep in the spare room. She agreed. I cried silently and didn't sleep a wink. Nearly midnight, I heard her giggling. I guess she's messaging Baldy, but he didn't find any evidence of contacting another man. Then it hit me. Why didn't I see it earlier? I bet a fair partner is disguised as one of her female coworkers. In the morning, while Jane was in the shower, I took her phone and created a session in my laptop. And put her phone in the same place. We both can unlock our phones. The session works while the phone is close to my laptop or in the same Wi-Fi account. Then I saw it. Under a female name, the profile picture was a dumbbell. I entered, and most of the conversations were deleted. I guess they use work words as code in case I snooped. "Can you deliver the papers in my desk?" I know she doesn't have a desk at work. "Going to the meeting, where are you?" On top of them, "Boss is in the office." He's clueless. Pretty clever. I guess I am boss because I know her boss is a woman. Jane got out of the shower and saw me. "You look worse. Why don't you stay with your parents?" I denied the idea, thinking of getting evidence. After Jane went out, I contacted my dad, and he gave me the name and number of the lawyer. I called them and explained everything. He told me the captions are useless. They don't have any factual evidence since it's not a fair partner's name, and she was smart enough to lead pieces of the conversation that looks pretty innocent. I can take pictures of them at the mall, but she can argue they're just good fellows, and I can't invade into the residential area without permission because it might give me into more trouble. At work, I was in zombie mode, thinking how to get evidence. I might install secret cameras in my house, but Baldy rarely goes to my home and Jane might find them. Unless I'm out of the picture. I texted Jane and told her I'm positive of the bug, and I'll stay at my parents' because I might need help. She liked the idea and told me she would miss me, but she'll call me every day. When I hung up, I called my dad and my brother. When I got home, she has already packed a suitcase for me. She was so eager of getting rid of me. I told her I'll take my laptop, and then I checked her messages. Boss will be out of the office. Wanna come to my desk? She sent this message almost after I told her I was positive. Good. She bit. We didn't have dinner. No kisses, no hugs. I noticed her watching the time twice. From the door, I told her, I'll miss you. I was expecting her to shut the door on my face, but she walked me to my car and I was gone. My dad and brother were outside the building waiting for Bali to appear, but he didn't show up. I thought, why did she walk me to my car? Of course. Because Baldi was already inside the building waiting, perhaps inside her car. I came back, hurried to my house, and entered silently. I heard music coming from the bedroom and the moaning. Next to the door, there's a sofa. His and her clothes were on it. I put my phone to record and open the bedroom door, and there she was. My wife, the love of my life, on all fours, and Baldi behind her. I got a very good few seconds of both of their faces when they saw me open the door. Jane screamed and covered herself with a blanket. Bali went alpha male, immediately walking naked towards me. I took a shot of him doing my wife raw. He yelled aggressive at me, "Why don't you go for a walk, buddy?" I hit his throat with my hand opened. I saw this movement in a Mel Gives a movie Ransom. The next second, Baldi was coughing and gasping, kneeling on the floor. I just yelled, "Get out of my house," and kicked him out. I threw his clothes at him when my dad, brother, and Mr. Pete were arriving at my house. I told him, "I'll take it from here," and closed the door. Jane was still on the bed covering herself. She was trembling. I told her, "I have never hurt you, nor will I get dressed. I'll wait for you in the living room." While I was waiting, I sent the video to my lawyer, and he answered, "Jackpot." A few minutes later, Jane showed up. She couldn't look me in the eyes. I started recording the conversation. I asked, "Why?" She didn't answer. "Was I such an awful husband to you?" She started crying, but didn't answer. "Do you love him?" "Nothing." I stand up and hit the table. "Say something, Jane." Dang it. She opened her eyes wide and started trembling again, like a puppy when it's scared. I sat and talked calmly. "My lawyer will contact you for the divorce." "Get a lawyer." She finally spoke. "We can fix this." "Fix what?" "Our marriage was over since Baldu was in the picture, and you chose him over me." "It was a mistake." "No, it wasn't. It was a choice. You chose, and this is the consequence." "What did you think would happen when I found out?" Silent again. "Go to your sisters and tell her the truth. Rai will show her the video." She went to the bedroom and started packing. I followed her and watched. Since 2 days ago, I was trying to convince myself, my wife was long gone. The person who I shared my house with is not my wife. But seeing her, putting her clothes inside the suitcase neatly, with her gracious movements, and those little things I love of her hit me hard. I went to the spare room and started ugly crying. I heard when she closed the main door. She picked her clothes that were on the sofa. She made the bed where I caught them. And I dropped on the floor. So much later, I called my dad. He told me Baldi wanted to press charges, but Mr. P told him he isn't registered in the entrance. So he's trespassing. The condo can sue him. He dropped it and went out. My nosy brother pressed his ear on the door, and my dad took him from the other ear to his car. I was exhausted. The previous days, I didn't sleep well. So I almost passed out in the spare room. Next morning, my phone had a lot of Jane's messages apologizing and asking for a second chance. I just blocked her. My sister-in-law called me. Apparently, Jane hasn't told her what happened. Just that we're fighting. I guess it's good my father-in-law is not alive to see Jane's behavior. She was the youngest and his favorite. Mother-in-law has senile dementia. All this happened a week ago. Next week, Jane is going to be served. Radar 1031 has a reaction. Stay strong, my man. And be prepared for the biggest bunch of BS to get thrown at you over the next few weeks. She's sorry. She only loves you. Doesn't know what she was thinking. All the usual crap. This is so much worse than a run-of-the-mill affair, and that she found it amusing to use secret code word that made you look like some loser. She couldn't wait to get Baldy into your house. She's scumming. The only answer here is scorched earth, my friend. Bury them both. I can't think of more deserving people. Skiller Wolf 1234 says, "Don't even know what to say, bro. Glad you didn't give her a second chance, though. Good luck in the future and wish you the best. Also, don't forget to send the video to her family so they would know what a piece of trash she is." The OP replies already did. Life Yogurt Claus at 98 says, "I'm sorry, OP. You did everything perfectly. You may even sue the gym Baldy worked at since he sexually harassed your wife. There should be cameras and trespassed in your home. Insane." Ike 22 says Baldy goes from one woman to the next as he gets caught, or the women bug him for commitment. You need to contact the gym where he works and inform the owner what Baldy did. You might bring legal action against the gym if they do not do something with Baldy. The minute your wife started arguing was the minute Baldy started screwing your wife. You are your wife's security and ATM. I always found the best revenge is living good and taking the silver and gold away from Baldy and your wife. Wow, OP. This is horrendous. I'm so sorry. Your ex lacked self-confidence for so long. Sounds like she liked the attention that she was receiving after taking care of herself. Weight loss often increases both separations and divorces, as well as the beginnings of new relationships. People who have lost weight may have a newfound confidence that makes them willing to pursue a new relationship or end a current relationship if they feel is stale or toxic. I'm not saying that your marriage actually is stale or toxic. I'm only stating that your ex might have perceived it that way, and her actions might be motivated by this thinking. Maybe she didn't feel deserving of love before. She started feeling better about herself after the weight loss. Unfortunately, she liked this newfound attention, and she should have been proud of the both of you for doing it together. She absolutely threw away a beautiful opportunity for the two of you to reinvent yourselves and live a wonderful and healthy life together. She totally blew it. What do you make of this? Thank you for joining us today on our space. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And while you're at it, please let us know what you thought of today's content. We can't